Welcome to another episode of Progress Always, where we build the fittest leaders. And I have the honor and the pleasure to reconnect with my homegirl, Joy Summers, holistic gut health expert and co-founder of a coffee party company, Soul Sessions. We're going to get into what exactly a coffee party is here in a second. But it has been close to 10 years since you and I have shared space together. The last time I saw you, you were going head to head with Elizabeth Akinwale at Rush Club, which is no more. And I've actually had the great pleasure to keep that relationship with AJ Richards, and he's crushing it and changing the game in regenerative agriculture on the farming end of things. And I've actually told him that we were getting ready to have this conversation. He wanted me to tell you hello. And he's happy that you're doing well. He keeps up with you. Yeah. So what the hell have you been up to since, we'll just talk about you and I, since Rush Club, because
oh my gosh,
again, that was the last time we shared space. And, you know, I'm not awesome on social media. So the next time I remember seeing you, I don't know how much time had gone by, but all of a sudden you're in Fiji. And like just before we got started with the show, you've been to 78 countries since the last time I saw you. So tell me about the journey.
Yeah, it's been, Rush Club, that was kind of like the peak of the OG season. You know, I think that was, I don't even remember what year that was, but that was like really when a lot of the athletes were coming together. I mean, I just remember getting my ass kicked. Like 150 of my, friends from my gym were there. We all had wearing my shirts, but it was a nighttime event. And like when you're used to training at 8 a.m. and then you have to compete at 9 p.m., everything gets thrown off, but those were exciting times. I mean, that was a really cool group of people. And then what happened? I decided to move to Asia. And so I went to Thailand. I went to a place called Chiang Mai, which is up north. And I started coaching up there. And then kind of competing globally, started, winning championships in different countries. The Asia circuit. Okay. Do you remember when like Arizona, this gym would have a competition, and then the other gym, and then all the gyms would come and get all your chairs and your little coolers, and this gym was there and there and there and there, right?
Yeah. It's Asia, not like that anymore.
No, wait. So what is it like?
The competition circuit is dead. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist anymore.
What a shame. Yeah, crazy. Well, in Asia, even now, like you have to fly into that country or that city.
Right.
So all of the competitions were these mini Olympics. And so it was like one big reunion. You had so many languages, cultures, communities, foods. Everyone was like, it was such a cool time to be competing. And then I moved to Phuket, Thailand, and opened a CrossFit gym inside the largest Muay Thai and fighting gym in the world.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did you not get sucked into Muay Thai?
Oh yeah. So it was like CrossFit gym over here, functional fitness over here, and then the whole. So this, so it's called Tiger Muay Thai.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And, yeah, you know it. Okay.
I do.
It's its own mini university. Like
I'm almost positive that's where Khalil Roundtree came.
Yes,
to really
I've met him many times. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So he completely decimated my brother's legs with. He came there to prepare for that fight.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. I don't follow any of it, so I don't actually know what happened.
That's awesome that you know him. He's a great dude.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, we had a ton of UFC fighters come back in the day, really good trainers, but Tiger Muay Thai is in a place called Fitness Street. And it's a 1 mile road. And on this one road, there's 15 gyms. I mean, we're going bim, 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 bim. And then in between all these gyms are like $5 massages and little huts selling like protein shakes and chicken and rice. And, like you go there to train. Yeah. So people would be there for a week, a month, 3 months, just drop because the beaches are 10 minutes away. And then you have boat parties and villa trips, like just the whole thing. So it sucks you into this amazing life. So yeah, I mean, life was good. I highly recommend anybody checking out, if you have any desire to go to Phuket, Thailand, go check out Fitness Street. It's completely changed since I was there, but it's still that little vibe where you're walking and you have like your little gym bag and like everyone's like, it's like a, a Norman Rockwell scene out of you're just like, good morning, good morning, good morning, So yeah, I built like a great career. I built great competitions. I started hosting my own competitions called the Island Battlegrounds, which was really fun. I just love bringing communities together. That's what I love. So then what happened? COVID happened. All the gyms closed down. Thailand kind of closed down for a couple of years, and I started coaching online.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't know, what was the gym situation like during COVID in Arizona?
So you had California on one end of the spectrum, like shut everything down, prayed that you survive or just close up shop. And then you had Texas and Florida who were just like, fuck it, this thing isn't real, libertarian, just survival of the fittest. And Arizona was more towards the Texas, Florida end of the spectrum, but not quite. So they shut us down twice. The first time, like in the immediate, like when everybody was going crazy, we don't know what this is. We were shut down for like 2 months, and then 3 months, March to June. Then we reopened, and then all the college kids down in Tempe went crazy, started having rooftop parties and stuff like that. And then we had another spike, so they shut us down the rest of the summer, and then we opened back up with restriction in September. So we definitely had it. It was rough, more so from the court of public opinion, more so than regulation, but we definitely had it easier than a lot of places.
Okay.
Yeah.
And training, people were still training during that time?
Well, I mean, we had our windows are mirror tinted. So, I mean, we went black market prohibition style, you know what I mean? Like, don't tell nobody, park over there, come in the back. And cause I can't work from home, so I needed a place to go. And I was like, well, fuck, I'm just going to be at the gym anyway. So what was really interesting though, was like, if I'm here, you guys come on, whatever. And I couldn't believe, like obviously the uptick of work from home, and remote work and stuff like that was on the rise. But I can't believe how many people were like, thank you for keeping this place open, because that the isolation is not good for me.
No. Issues people
just,
are going through and still are going through.
Oh, totally, man. The suicidal ideations that I was having conversations about, the depression, all of that. And it's just like when you're alone with your thoughts and your own demons, and you don't have an outlet of any kind, that's a recipe for absolute disaster. So, that was not my intention to address that or help manage that with people, but it was definitely a really serendipitous, unintended consequence of rolling the dice, staying open, and creating that outlet for folks.
Yeah. I mean, I was able to take a lot of the equipment from our gym and bring it to my house during COVID. And so we ended up having like a gym in my backyard. And this is going to be the first podcast I'm actually ever going to talk about this openly, but okay. I got arrested during COVID.
No shit.
And it was so I don't know if you remember, but 2 weeks into COVID, do you remember when like The Lion King was like super popular on Netflix?
Yes.
Okay. So Lion King was really popular on Netflix. Everybody was coming to my house to train. And I lived on like this dead end road. So one day we're doing a cool down walk to the end of my road, and we see these like huge dinosaurs. And we're like, what is this? And so there was no gate. So we just walked in, and we saw that my house like butted up against the back end of the zoo, the Phuket Zoo.
Okay.
And every night for weeks, I could hear these animals just like crying. So when we walked in there, I mean, these animals had been abandoned. There were trees falling down, leaves everywhere. There was no food. There was no water inside any of these cages. Crocodiles over here, monkey over there, tigers over there. So we're like, what the heck? Like, it was like creepy and eerie how abandoned it was. So we walk over to this tiger cage, and this tiger it gets up like this, and he goes, "Meow," and my friend gets it on video, and in his Australian accent goes, "Guys, I think it's dying." And he posted it on social media, and within 3 days, we raised $46,000 to feed and rescue these abandoned animals.
Oh, wow.
It went viral. We're talking, it was in like the Sun in the UK. It was translated in German. I mean, it was like we were these like foreign heroes because everybody's on their phones, right? And then like the Tiger King, we were rescuing these tigers. It was like this whole thing until the Thai mafia found out about this. And they did not like the fact that we were kind of making Phuket look bad by saying that they're abandoned. So they put a warrant out for our arrest. There was 4 of us that were involved. We were arrested on a Friday afternoon. I remember
you got a fucking international incident on your hands right now.
What? Trying to see these abandoned animals. I was like, oh my gosh. And I mean, in these kind of countries, you don't talk about these things. And this is why I have
deed, right?
talked about it openly. But my poor mother is like freaking out in New Hampshire, you know, like her daughter is going to get locked up abroad and And so, yeah, so that was my COVID story of doing the whole gym thing at my house. And then actually, you know, this whole story happened. So good times. But, you know, it did push me into a new field. Really great. So back then, like online coaching wasn't a big thing, you know? I was like scrolling Instagram, obviously, and I found this coach that said that he coaches how to go online.
Yeah.
And you know, like when you go from being in a gym, coaching classes, having that energy and that connection with your clients, how do you go online?
Yeah.
You're like, how can I bring this energy online? So I took a chance with this coach, signed up with him for a year, and he helped me go from 0 to 60 clients within 3 months.
Nice.
And that kind of is what, like, you know, like the next 5 years, I was like following these plans and hiring different coaches and, you know, traveling and like, you know, but like still you can get so many more results working with clients online could in the gym, you know. Are you doing online stuff too?
Yeah, I do a lot of between the ear stuff. You know, what I came to find for me that's been transformational for our clients is, you know, your fitness or lack thereof is a symptom of the shit that you're not dealing with. So once we start to explore and unpack all that stuff and start, you know, making yourself a priority again, understanding what your needs and expectations are and getting those met and creating the environment and the relationships that support that initiative, the fitness just becomes a natural byproduct of that lifestyle that supports your highest and best self.
I love that.
You know what I mean? So, and we work with people here, there, and everywhere now. So,
So you're coming at it from more, I mean, that's like therapy. I mean, like that's a psychological aspect.
You want to hear something fucked up? So this is hilarious. I got invited to present to a group of 18 counselors and psychotherapists on the connection between fitness and mental health. And I've been doing this work at this level for almost 10 years now. And I was like, man, you know, even though I am a recovering credential chaser, as we talked about before we got on, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. And I was like, if I'm crossing any lines in the work that I do, I'm going to find out today. Right. And now, since Next Level CrossFit PHX has been open, I have been working tirelessly to align us with allopathic medicine, MDs, to, support patient lifestyle integration, right? No doctor in Western medicine has the time to really monitor, the integration of, a healthier lifestyle, right? It's just, here's the prescription. And this is no fault on the doctor. This is just the system at work, right? Here's the prescription. Here's my recommendation. Figure it out and fend for yourself. I'll see you at your next appointment. That's kind of the rhythm of the system, right? And so I go and I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I started to just repeat the script, and it was falling on deaf ears. I was like, I just threw that in the trash and I was like, okay, show of hands. Who knows they need to work out more? Who knows they need to eat better? Who knows they need better sleep? Who knows they need to drink more water? Awesome. I'm not here to tell you all the shit that you already know. Right now, the people that volunteer, that come without a medical prescription to sit on your couch and tell you all their things, their deep dark, and explore and unpack and whatever, chances are they're in a place where they are in the conscious pursuit of their own personal growth and development. Right? They know there's a block. They know there's an issue. They know that there's something that needs to be unpacked. They are actually, to their credit, being proactive in becoming better. Right? What also typically comes with that initiative? These are people that never stop moving. These are people that are hyperactive in nature. These are people that are always busy and confuse it with productivity. They're always on the go. Right? And I walk them through this hierarchy of being. Starts with your physical being, which regulates your emotional being, which creates mental clarity, which allows you to show up as your highest and best self, your spiritual self, right? And the mic drop moment in the room was, what if in your physical practice, as I'm sure the majority of you do, when you tell somebody that they need to work out more, start training, go for a hike, get your 10,000 steps, etc. Like, does any of that sound familiar? And they're like, oh yeah. Everybody nodding their heads. I'm like, for those people, what if their physical practice was actually just sitting fucking still? That is a physical practice. And it was like so counterintuitive, because out there on the interweb, as I know that it's do more, do more, do more, do more, do more. That's the narrative, right? You're not doing enough, right? And when I was done, they're like, oh my God, this is exactly what we needed to hear. Can our clients work with you? And I had this moment of clarity, like, holy shit, I have been barking up the wrong tree. Like, we can 100% be the integrator for your people in terms of lifestyle integration and creating consistency and accountability in that regard, as they're moving through having all these movements with you guys on your couches. And I was like, it was so cool to finally be in a room with these highly educated people that are genuinely on a mission to solve this problem and create an alliance, a partnership, couple on additional resources to their practice that, they had the same issue as allopathic medicine, in terms of, like, I don't have the time or the resources to keep up with these people between appointments, and at the same time, a lot of that stuff is outside my scope of practice. Right. And at the same time, in a session, on a call, these are a lot of things that they're sharing with them, or a lot of things they share with us, so here we get to combine forces and really have this holistic, cohesive approach to whatever the treatment protocol is, in terms of creating an environment that supports the behavior change that they're looking for.
They don't have the time. They don't have time to break all that down for someone. I mean, I just started doing more breath work in all of my client calls. Literally, I mean, you if I have them for 15 minutes, I take 8 of those minutes to do breath work, because it's like a lot of these people are not going to do it by themselves.
Right.
And now when I'm doing gut health talks and stuff, I'm actually taking people through a series of, like, I don't even know how to describe it. I build them up to the point where first, like, we walk in a circle and like they look at the ground. Then we walk in a circle, we make eye contact. Then we walk in a circle and they have to like put someone's hand on their shoulder. And I build them up to the point where they're giving someone a hug.
Okay.
And the hug alone, right? I went to Burning Man last year and I really found the true meaning of these like 20-second spiritual hugs, right? Because when do you ever give someone a 20-second hug? Like, you don't even hug your partner for that long, you know? But one of these non-sexual, very just embracive hugs where so much oxytocin is released.
Yeah.
Nervous system completely resets. You know, now the studies are coming out that these hugs help with a 30% better digestion rate if you give someone a hug before you eat your food.
Which in a lot of cultures, not America, is customary.
And then they're sitting around the table, right? And their connection raises oxytocin and dopamine.
Yeah.
Right? Even like go and like cuddle with your dog for a minute, you know, or like force your kid to give you a hug, or having that kind of connection to release oxytocin before your meals can literally improve your digestion by 30%.
Wow.
Right? So imagine what breath work, you know, some kind of meditation, a hug can do for someone. And we're not talking about sleep, food, macros, water, you know what it's like, all of these other things.
Yeah.
But I think we're ready to hear it now.
Yes, I would agree. I would agree. Yeah.
Years ago, that girl on stage with Elizabeth Akinwale was not ready to hear that. You know, to meditate for 10 minutes back then, I would have thought you're crazy. Now it's a daily practice.
Sure. Right? I know, you know, we're finally getting up to speed with, because for so long, you know, especially in the CrossFit space, it was like, how hard can I grind? How
got rhabdo? Good job.
It's like red line or flat line, baby. There's nothing in between. Let's go. And it's so rough on your nervous system, you know, and it just requires so much at a competitive level. It obviously serves in a down-regulated environment, lower stakes. It serves a purpose and it's effective. But at a competitive level, right, it's not very sustainable.
No,
and that's why High Rocks is taken off, because it's so much easier on the system. You know, even at the elite level, it's like, oh fuck, I could do this forever. Not me. I hate running, not doing it. But
I was like, I am not doing. I have not trained at one High Rocks gym or nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Everybody I know that's done an event, they are quick, fast, and in a hurry overtaking what CrossFit did for the community of fitness. High Rocks is crushing, and slowly but surely, in the not too distant future, they're going to take over CrossFit in that regard.
You see this? I mean, I just don't understand.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, but I think it's great, but like, is this sustain? Like, how long do you see this? Like, is this like an Orange Theory thing? You know, like you come to real hot and then you leave real hot.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this a lot in my circles. You know what I mean? Do you want to be trendy or timeless?
Yeah,
you know, and
but people are craving community so badly. So, you know, I'm here in Dubai, hence my blue light up blocking glasses tonight. But like there are so many new run clubs, right? These run clubs are the thing. 100 people, over 100 people will show up at the beach at 6 a.m. I mean, it's hot now here. 6 a.m. to go for a run. right? Like
Yeah.
these community trends and these like
Mhm.
groups are really, this is what's driving the
Well,
wellness community.
I think it speaks to the isolation of society right now. It doesn't matter where you're at in the world, you know, the fact that you can work remote and you never have to leave your house and all those things, like people need an excuse to connect. And what's so interesting, my wife and I are one of our favorite dynamics of date night is seeing who's on a Tinder date and who's meeting for the first time
Yes.
in person, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
uh it's so tough. And I think statistically the truth remains that the efficacy of your relationship or the odds of it going the distance are still greater if you meet through a referral or a friend's recommendation than a dating app or a blind date of some sort. And you know,
1,000%.
so you take all that into consideration, and it's like, oh, where is an opportunity for me to meet somebody, friend or romance or otherwise, genuinely?
Yep.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that's what I really believe this um uh fervor for community is born of. It's like, man, I'm in my work life as it exists now, I'm not going to get that. You know, it's I you're we've never been so connected and so isolated at the same time, you
And
know.
now with AI and chat
Mm.
GTP, and I mean,
Oh.
it's so, it's interesting to see where it's, you know,
Mhm.
I think we were like that last generation before there has just been so many big changes and stuff. But
Yeah.
this is such a good segue to go into soul sessions
Yes.
because, okay, so okay, I don't even know where to start with this. Okay, so soul session. Okay, have you heard about these global trends?
I
These
mean,
coffee
get me up to speed. Treat me like I'm done.
trends? Okay, okay, so there's an Instagram account called Daybreakers, and they were truly the first morning party community based out of LA.
Okay.
I saw this trend really starting to take off December, January, Toronto, London, Amsterdam, kind of globally.
Mhm.
And I had, just moved to Dubai. I'm being a gut health specialist. I was looking for a bone broth company to sponsor me.
Mhm.
So I set up a meeting with this bone broth company. I go to their restaurant and I'm like looking and I'm like, man, this is a vibey little spot here. I
Yeah.
said, can we so a coffee party is where you take over a coffee shop or restaurant or whatever, and you're partying to coffee, matcha, bone broth, detox drinks, like, and you
Hell
are
yeah.
transmitting energy, right? Like this
Mhm.
is, I call us like we're in between Burning Man and Bali ecstatic dancing, where
Okay.
this like flowy, hippie, like amazing people feel each other's energies and they want to connect.
Mhm.
So the first couple like were really taken off. And I was with one of my girlfriends and she's like, "Man, I'm so sick of these dating apps." Like we went to a run club together and she's like, "I'm going to find my future husband in one of these run clubs or
Yeah.
these wellness events."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Man, how can we tell like who's single and who's not? Like I don't want to go around to all these people being like, 'Are you single?' No, are you?" No.
Yeah.
So, we have come out with a choose your vibe wristband.
Ooh.
Okay. So when you come in and like people, like they already know what color that they want to get that day.
Of
So there's
course.
4 options. You
Yeah.
can choose a best friend. There's a pink one that date me if you're single or whatever you are.
Yeah.
There's let's network and just chillin'.
Yeah.
So now people know, and we put a video out that went viral, where like viral. And so people now come in and they're like, they want the safety, right? There's one that's
Mhm.
just chilling. And if I'm at the door, I'm like, but are you single? And like they all smile, and then I slap them with a pink one, and I'm like, go in there and find so like everyone's like
Yeah.
so shy. But
Mhm.
this is like the perfect icebreaker to
Yeah.
be like, okay, like she's open to finding a best friend. Cool. I need a best friend too. Just like
Yeah.
fun. But these social, sober driven
Mhm. Yeah.
wellness parties where look at, I love to dance, but I don't want a hangover. I don't want a late night out. Like I
Yep.
want to be in bed by 10:30, you
Mhm.
know? And so we say that we're swapping tequila for turmeric shots.
Yeah.
And we're like instead of having hangovers, we're having hugs, and it's just a total vibe.
That's dope.
Yep. So please give
Hell
us a
yeah.
follow
Yeah.
at it's soulsessions.dubai.
Okay.
We were Dunkin' Donuts of the Middle East called me over the weekend. And they say, we found your page. You guys look like so much fun. We
Mhm.
would like to hire you for 8 sessions going forward through the summer. And I called my business partner, called Dina, and I was like, Dunkin' Donuts wants us. They want us, you know? And she blanked me. She looked at me and she's like, Joy, she's like, you're Miss Organic Gut Health Coach.
Yeah.
She's like, that does not align with our values. And I was like, okay, fine, fair. We're classy. We are a luxury
Yeah.
coffee, an
Yeah.
exquisite coffee roasting company, you know? But it's cool that this trend is really taking off and that people
Mhm.
want to sober connections,
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
you know?
That's
So
cool.
yeah. So soul sessions, it's been a random thing that's just kind of like taken
Mhm.
off in the last couple months, which is really fun.
Yeah. So, I know you're from New Hampshire.
Mhm.
You came out here for a little bit.
Yeah. So my mom is actually a naturopathic doctor. So
Okay.
we grew up like herbs,
Mhm.
oils, homeopathy, like super holistic.
Yeah.
I moved out to Arizona to go to ASU.
Mhm.
Graduated, backpacked through Europe for a couple years, tried to make it work back in the States, realized that I'm just meant to live abroad somewhere.
Sure.
And then started traveling, doing all this stuff during
Mhm.
like after COVID, traveled quite a bit. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, where are all these digital nomads going? You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Tulum, Bali, Lisbon. I was in Turkey for a year. I mean, I was going to all these hot spots, right?
Yeah.
But have you been to Asia?
I spent half my childhood in the Philippines and Okinawa. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I spent a week in Kuwait on the way into Afghanistan and a week in Kyrgyzstan on the way out.
A lot's changed since then.
Yes, for sure. So I've
Men coming back.
so I've heard.
I think women can drive in Saudi Arabia now, actually. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Asia has my heart out here, but
Okay.
it's yeah, so I moved to Dubai because I was like, where else has
Mhm.
amazing infrastructure, the
Yep.
chance to kind of manifest whatever you literally, I mean, I had this idea for a coffee party. You can get a company set up within 7 days.
Yeah.
You can get investors while sitting at a coffee shop at a hotel
Mhm.
restaurant. Like it's just crazy how things work and how fast things move here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and everybody wants to connect with you. Like I've never
Yeah.
had so many WhatsApp numbers handed out. It's just like, bam,
Yeah.
bam. I mean, it's a Thursday morning. There was over
Mhm.
50 women that are part of this really amazing Mind Valley kind of community.
Mhm.
We all met up for a coffee in this event that happened at 9:30 on a Thursday morning. Like you can just throw up these events and people want to come and connect with you. So
Nice.
yeah, highly recommend coming out here.
Well, let's figure out how to get out there. I'm in.
Wait, I can get you like a speaking gig.
Oh, say less. I'm in. Yeah.
Okay, October 8th and 9th, write this down. You're going to be one of our speakers at the MeFit Pro Summit. MeFit Pro Summit. We need speakers. So the other thing that I'm actually doing, so I'm part-time. I'm working for a company called MeFit Pro.
Okay.
They're the NASM Institute out here.
Okay.
So they do many different things. They do education. Then they have a line called KUA, and they're kind of, I don't want to say it's like the Amazon of wellness, but they're like a
Mhm.
distribution center for gym equipment, yoga,
Yeah.
Pilates, nutrition, supplements, all the things. So they've hired me as the functional nutritionist to come in and start promoting these brands. So I guess I need to back up a little bit. So after I dropped CrossFit. Okay. I kind of dropped CrossFit and went into gut health because in the same sense that you understood that this is where it needs to kind of start before we get into the muscles.
Yeah.
I realized that everybody has a gut health problem.
Yeah. I had a conversation yesterday with a guy that I'm totally still poaching this. He's like, yeah, dude. Yeah. Cause he came from exercise and wellness undergrad and all that kind of good stuff. And he's like, yeah, dude, when I figured out that the inner size was more important than the exercise, the game changed. And I was like, can I borrow that?
Yeah. Look at your gut's your first brain. Like this is the antenna, but like everything starts here, you know? And so, I mean, yes, like mental health and all of that, but it's all connected.
100%.
Right? To regulate our nervous system. And then everything obviously starts working together. So having the background from my mom, you know, and raising us super holistically, like you saw me as an athlete, but I was actually hypoglycemic and a total sugar addict, and food was controlling my life.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could go paleo, but you could still go crazy on paleo treats and stuff, you know?
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like it was like, you know, sweet potato chocolate chip muffins all day. And so, but we were training so hard, like you said, right? We were like this whole crazy thing. And so, once I got into gut health, realized how much fasting can help balance my insulin levels.
Yeah.
I found fasting and then I found food freedom.
Okay.
And that is where my real journey began, I think, was, you know, dropping almost 40 pounds, balancing my hormones, understanding that I was in control of making food choices and not having, because like I would be so addicted to I was always the hangry friend, always, right? That was like, hangry's not cute, you know?
Yeah.
So I would carry a bag of snacks with me everywhere I went because I was too afraid to be without food.
Sure.
And so yes, fasting has been a game changer. So now helping clients lower inflammation, lower toxicity, and lower their insulin levels is now my approach to coaching.
Love it. Love it.
Changed a lot from my, like, you know, just smash yourself and do as many.
We're just going to focus on the deficit. You'll be okay. Like,
yeah. I mean, what drives me crazy these days is when I still see bodybuilders and coaches telling their clients, they're like, you know, I just saw this chick put, it was like, if you're trying to you have 2 slices of toast, one with a half of an avocado, that's 220 calories, or this slice of toast with a tablespoon of Nutella for only 90 calories. So if you're trying to lose weight, eat the Nutella, you know? And I'm like, yeah. And then you come to me in 5 years with gut health problems.
Yeah.
You know? We could eat that way when we're 20, not exactly when we're 40.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's close the loop on this MyFitPro real quick. And then I got some questions to ask you about the myth busting of nutrition and gut health. But so yeah, how'd you get involved with MyFitPro?
MyFitPro. MyFitPro. So let me get my book real quick. So my best-selling program all throughout COVID and everything was a 10-day gut cleanse. I put together this it started off as a 30-day no sugar challenge, which even I failed at. Like 30 days no sugar is like nearly impossible. Okay, I was like 30 days is too long. 7 days is too short. 10 is this sweet spot. So for 5 years, I've been, you know, pushing out this course, which is 100% guaranteed to work.
Yeah.
So this kind of rolled into me getting into Dubai. And when I moved here, I wanted a non-toxic house. I wanted non-toxic soaps, lotions, shampoos, cutlery, blankets, linen. I mean, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
But there's not like one website you go to find that. And it's been a mission. It's been a treasure hunt.
Yeah.
It's been like finding all of these fun companies. And the coolest part too is that a lot of these companies in Dubai are female entrepreneurs, mothers,
Hell yeah.
that are balancing all these hats. But like, for example, my tissues are bamboo, and they're like, it's like this husband and wife couple that came out with clean toilet paper and tissues and, you know, all these. So it's been really fun finding all these companies. So
Yeah.
I wanted a clean protein powder. And so I found this plant-based protein powder that's here in Dubai. So this is my book, A Biohacker's Guide to Gut Health.
Love it.
And in it, I basically like help people understand clean swaps, right?
Okay.
So there's actually like feminine care. There's the toilet paper I was just talking about.
Yeah.
And then I have one on protein powders. And so I found, I mean, I'm sure you've seen like these are all over Instagram, right? Like all the, right? So I was drinking Optimum Nutrition for 10 years. We all were. Not realizing how much damage it was doing to my gut. I felt bloated and gross after every protein shake, but you just thought it was normal.
Right.
So I found Newsist, which is an Australian-based company, but one in the States that I love. I don't know if you've heard of Wild Society, but they're a grass-fed beef isolate, whey isolate with mushroom adaptogens. So that one you can find in the States. But yeah, so I found this company out here. And then they basically like saw everything that I was doing, and they called me up and they offered me, they're like, look, we love what you're doing and what you're promoting. And so now literally I'm helping them to build a clean living, low tox website for all of these companies so that we can have one-stop shopping for all things non-toxic.
Yeah.
Because this is truly the way forward. Like, and we can make it fun.
Yeah.
Right. Like, let's get fun. And again, collaboration, supporting the community, supporting these, you know, small businesses, helping each other, you know, get the message out there, because our people are sick.
Yeah.
Right. Your friends are sick. My friends are sick. And when you hear their stories, like, you and I are both educators. We just want to like throw this stuff down their throat. Like, why aren't you doing this? You know, but again, if we slowly, step by step, start impacting one person at a time, you know, then we've kind of like done our thing. So MeFit Pro there's many different branches, but yes, if you want to get NASM certified out here, you're going to go through our course. And we have one huge conference. It's a 3-day event.
Yeah.
One day is going to be focused all on biohacking. And then the other 2 days are going to be all PTs, coaches, people in the field. And they literally asked me to help them find speakers today. So this is perfect timing.
Boom.
The universe works in beautiful ways.
Yes, it does. It will conspire in your favor if you let it.
An excuse to visit one of the coolest cities in the world in October should be good weather. I mean, Arizona with a little bit more humidity.
Oh yeah, that was my experience in Kuwait. I was like, this place is fucking Arizona hot and Florida humid. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So
yes. Yeah. But we're not that bad, and there's air conditioning everywhere, and
all good. All good. I'm all for it. So let's get to the myth busting, right?
Yeah.
Because I have so many pet peeves about the internet and the way we go about any and all lifestyle integration prescription. And you know, you being the gut health expert, I'm sure you have a laundry list of this is what they say about nutrition and this is what actually works. And I would imagine that you doing what you do, your methodology is so simple compared to the bullshit that's being espoused out there. So let's go with your top 3. You know, here's the bullshit, here's the truth.
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, number one, calories in, calories out.
Okay.
Like, yes, I believe that you have to be in a deficit, but I believe in more looking at the labels and
Mm-hmm.
understanding the ingredients, because there's so much processed protein on the market.
Mm-hmm.
And there are still so many coaches promoting all of these brands,
Yep.
because they're an affiliate or because, this, that, or the other thing. And it's
Right.
like, this is causing your client to have more gut health issues.
Mm.
Oh my gosh, you put me on the spot. Other myths. I don't know. Give me a couple.
Let's see. You brought it up. Give me a clean swap that you recommend for food on the food end of the spectrum.
On the food side, clean swaps. I mean, now because all my clients are, well, no, my clients are global. So
Sure.
depending upon where they are,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm always looking for like clean protein bars. It's
Mm-hmm.
like these, catchy things. I made a post the other day. I'm like, I'm swapping my protein bars for chicken and Ziploc baggies and just like eating my chicken breast, instead
Yeah.
of protein bars and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
we have to start looking at what's in our bathroom, what's under the sink in the kitchen, all
Mm-hmm.
the chemicals that they're spraying on, your tables and your surfaces,
Yeah.
right? The candles. I mean, I was at the mall today and these cute little girls had the biggest bag from Bath and Body Works.
Yeah.
And I remember being obsessed with all of those smells and
Mm-hmm.
all those things.
Cucumber melon, baby, all
Oh
day.
my God, I was literally, and now I like walk past her and it's like you get a headache immediately, you
Mm.
know?
So here's a question for you. Let's deviate here. When you clean it up in the way that you have, how sensitive do you like the unintended consequences, the dark side of this coin, right? Do you find yourself more sensitive to the world that you have to navigate as a result of getting this clean?
That's such a good question. And I think, yeah, of course, like if I get
Mm-hmm.
into a taxi and they have one of those like little tree
Yeah.
smelly things, like I'm like out the window, like I
Okay.
get an instant headache and it's like it's almost like pull over and let me get out.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I had a massive ice cream sundae over the weekend and I woke up and there's just all pimples all over my face,
Mm.
So yes, like
Okay.
if I went to an Italian restaurant for dinner the other night with friends for birthday. We
Mm-hmm.
had the tiramisus and the olives and the cheeses and the oils, and I was in the fetal position because I'm
Okay.
not used to having such heavy food.
Right.
But
Okay.
I think when you start with this lifestyle, this is an extreme case, right?
Sure.
When you slowly start changing your food, your
Mm-hmm.
taste buds will start to change.
Yep.
Your vibration and your frequency start to change.
Mm-hmm.
You're now elevated into right, like eating Wendy's and McDonald's, that's low vibrational food.
Yeah.
That's low vibrational quality. All of a
Talk to
sudden,
me. Come on.
yeah, you start like you go from McDonald's to an Uno's, and then like, okay, I couldn't eat at an Uno's anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and then you like Olive Garden, and then like you start like you just get quality, and now
Mm-hmm.
you're looking at fine cut steaks, and I'm like, okay, this is what my body craves.
Mm-hmm.
I have some very specific non-negotiables.
Okay.
One of them being I'm still a sugar addict and I
Okay.
love my sweets, but it doesn't matter where in the world I am.
Mm-hmm.
Always have a protein or a fat before any kind of sugar or carb.
Okay.
So for
Mm-hmm.
example, if I'm going to Europe and I'm like in Italy and wanting to eat all the gelato, like I will find a protein source of some sort
Yep.
and then I'll get the gelato.
Sure.
And if you
Mm-hmm.
just keep like these simple, like I'm sure you talk about non-negotiables with your clients
Oh
too.
yeah.
It's like you
Mm-hmm.
have to stick to the discipline,
Yeah.
because if you don't set rules and parameters for yourself, then
Mm-hmm.
you don't have a word, and your
Yeah.
word is everything.
Oh yeah. For us, and try this on and see how it fits. When we get into the nutrition end of things and with our clients, it just comes in three parts. We prioritize protein. Then we worry about calories in, calories out, whether you're going to be in a surplus for gain or a deficit for loss. And your macro profile actually comes last.
Yeah.
And that's not because it's the least important. It's because it requires the most bandwidth and capacity. And when you're our take on lifestyle integration is to introduce as little friction as possible into the process so that the habits and patterns can manifest. And what I've noticed in the internet and stuff like that, and what's going on out there, they coach it in reverse. Macros, 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 calories in, calories out. And then all of a sudden, like the prioritization of protein is like a footnote in the conversation. And it's like, no, man.
So I have a question for this.
Yeah.
I've found that most people don't even know how many grams of protein is in one egg. So, right, when you ask, like, this is a question I ask a lot of people, and I'll get like 15 grams, 25, and I'm like, are you kidding me right now? So how do you explain to them that, like, you need to focus on more protein? So they go to breakfast and they get 2 poached eggs on avocado toast and they think that they're eating enough protein for the day.
Yeah. So first of all, like if that's where we start, that's where we start. Right. And then we just focus on the more, not the number, because most people are undernourished. Right. So to your point,
over fed.
Yes. So, but to your point, putting the protein first before the carbohydrate and the sugar, if you when you do that right and you focus on the more to start, there's no room for all the other bullshit that they were taking in. So all of a sudden, what we commonly get is, oh my God, I'm so full, I don't have any more room for all the other stuff. Oh my God, this is when I'm hitting anything close to what my body demands of protein, like I'm so stuffed. And it's like, well, yes. And like, that's because protein is so much more dense than carbohydrate. Right. And you've been under, go ahead.
Sorry. What's your take on fasting?
I'm okay with it. I like what works for the client, and we treat all of our clients as an N of one. Like there are principles which are inarguable, right? Like we're talking about right now. But when you start, where everybody wants to argue is the implementation of those principles. And it's such a inconsequential conversation, because whether you're fasting or you're going vegan or whatever, like those 3 things have to happen. Right? The prioritization of protein, the calories in, calories out, and then macros. And that's like a distant third. If you get the first 2 right, you're going to win like 99% of the time. How you do that is 100% dependent on your acceptable reality. You can do it as a vegan. You can do it carnivore, but the principle remains. So it's not for me to argue what's best, because now we're having a dogmatic conversation, and that never goes anywhere, because now I'm trying to convince you to come on my side of the fence, or vice versa, as opposed to, no, like you and I are having an educated conversation on this lifestyle integration thing. And now what's really important is what's best for the client. And that's where the conversation needs to be. Yeah.
And so are you working mostly men, women?
All the above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly. And I mean, there's just like a laundry list of issues that people have.
And that's why you got to treat the client as an N of one, to have a dogmatic conversation, or to,
meet them where they're at. You have to meet them.
Yeah. 100%,
Yeah.
And,
I mean, you guys have access to like Sprouts and Trader Joe's, and I mean, you have access to so much stuff that we can't get out here. And so, like, I have a couple clients that are living in like the boondocks in Canada, and they can't even get, raw milk, whatever it is. It's like there's limited access. So the fact that a lot of people do have access to this stuff, it's like you have no excuse.
Yeah. It really comes down to the no, not even that. It's the incentive for change. what are the intrinsic, not the extrinsic, because those are fleeting. You know, as soon as the girlfriend you're trying to impress dumps you, well, we're back to fucking square one anyway. So like, what intrinsically motivates you? Because that's long-term motivation. Why do you want this change for yourself? You know, and when we again, what goes on up here, right? You know, once we tap into that, you're off to the races.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you have a good morning routine?
It varies depending on the season I'm in. Right now, my morning routine is any day that ends in Y, I get up the same time. Nothing changes. I've just recently become hip to the studies and the evidence around how great that is, in terms of your circadian rhythm and keeping everything in alignment. Because your body gets in that rhythm, right? So I wake up every day between 4 and 4:30, and I read for anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes, depending. I typically, I got to go get it. It's Follow Your Passion and the Money Will Follow.
Okay.
Yeah, dope book, so good. Okay. And then I typically train before 9 a.m. I front load all my in-person clients up front in the day. And then everything after that is want tos and get tos on my list, because all the important stuff is done, you know. But, you know, for me, I live an existence where my life is dedicated to others, right? And it just so happens between my wife and I, who's also an early riser, well, kids just model what we do, so they're up early too. So like the 4:30 wake up is less bragging rights and more so necessity, because that's like the 1 hour maybe that's for Mycal. Yeah. And then I integrate all the ice bath, the sauna, and all that stuff in there as well. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm gonna challenge you on this one. So I have now started oil pulling. Ooh. So I'll wake up, and the first thing I do is I go to my sink and I have my jar of coconut oil.
Okay.
Spoon, put it in your mouth and just swish it in your mouth. You know, like get it all in there.
Yeah.
And so while I'm swishing it, so antimicrobial, antibacterial, antifungal, pulls out the toxins that have built up from sleeping for the night.
Yeah.
And so I'll do that for a few minutes while I'm like getting the hot water ready for my coffee. I'm taking some peptides. So I'm taking some BPC 157. I'll get that, do my little, you know, routine, and then make sure that you spit that oil in the trash and not down your sinks, because it will freeze. Like it hardens, right?
Good to know. Yeah. Okay.
So swish it around, spit it out, and then I'll do a shot of apple cider vinegar. Okay. Water. Mm-hmm. And then
I've got chronic acid reflux, so I know what apple cider vinegar does for me. But why is that part of your routine?
So it's part of my routine for blood sugar balance.
Got it. Yep.
Helping with cravings, helping with metabolism.
Got it. Okay.
Yes, if you have a histamine intolerance, if you're acid reflux, yes, it's highly acidic. But it does really help with cravings and feeling good in the morning. Sure. So then after that, brush my teeth with fluoride-free toothpaste. And then I will rebound. I just got a rebounder. So I will jump. I'm jumping minutes.
A little lymphatic treatment there?
Yeah, because I love, like, most people, and I didn't know this, but like waking up with a puff instead of a pit is a very common symptom for a lot of people.
Interesting.
And we don't know this because we're always covered in t-shirts or whatever. And a lot of people won't just come out and tell you this, but their wings don't fit. They have these big swollen puffy pits, and because your lymphatic system is so clogged. Yeah. If we have a clogged lymphatic system, obviously our body can't detox and drain. Right. So doing things like, you know, even doing burpees, like, gosh, I've hated burpees my entire career, like absolutely hated them. And When someone told me, like, they were like, Joy, well, if you just do them a little bit faster, now you're like getting like a free lymphatic drainage massage, you know? And so now I'm like down
Mm,
there, burpees, jumping jacks, I'm doing my double under. It's like we have to move and flow. And all
yeah.
I'm asking people, I'm like 2 minutes,
Hmm.
2 minutes of jumping, you know,
Yeah.
then your mind is ready. I do a little bit of a gratitude.
Yep.
And then it's like, okay, start the day. It takes
Mm,
10 minutes
yeah.
and can be a game changer for people.
Dope. Okay. Awesome. Well, I think that's a great place to call it.
Yes.
Joy, where can everybody taking this in find you, connect with you? I'm going to see you in October, so I'm super fucking pumped for that, if not before. But yeah, how does everybody find Joy?
I'm like it says on this thing, Coach Joyous is 05. Instagram is the best place. Also on LinkedIn, same exact thing. Follow us, Soul Sessions, for some coffee party vibes. Soulsessions.dubai.
That's awesome. I
Cool.
appreciate you, girl. Thanks for reconnecting.
Thank you.
This
It's
is so
been
good. Yeah,
fun.
it's always on time. It's always on time. For everybody out there listening, if you want to become the fittest leader, go to coachdurs.com. There's all kinds of free resources there to get your mind right and enhance your lifestyle integration. And until next time, progress always.